Hi, I'm James Bell. I'm the head of corporate communications for Kia America. We're here at the LA Auto Show, and it's time to see the Telluride through my eyes.
First thing I want to talk about is how imposing and how beautiful is this vehicle to walk up to. How much do you wish you could have this in your driveway? I know I want one. It's just the kind of vehicle that the overall design just says quality. It says, I want to go for a ride. I want to get a ride in one. I want my neighbor to have one. I want my whole neighborhood to have one. I want to be a part of this vehicle. And I think one of the things that really draws it out for making it special is not only the outside, and we'll talk more about that. Let's look on the inside. As you can see here, we have really the best of all worlds. And what I mean by that is the interior design on the Kia EV9 was basically the standard that became the interior here on the Telluride. So from the X line, we now go to the star of the show. This is the hybrid version, or turbo hybrid. Now I want to tell you a little story, folks. When I first heard that we were getting rid of the V6 engine, that was such a great opportunity. One of the things that really made people love the current generation Telluride, I said, wait a minute, the V6 is going away? Well, what do you got? I took this vehicle out for a drive. It's fantastic because the two things that people did have problems with in the current generation Telluride is passing power. They would like to have a little bit more available to merge into traffic and do their thing. And they also wanted a little better fuel efficiency. So what do we do at Kia? We make it all better. Now you have an engine here, turbo hybrid power, that has more horsepower, more torque, better fuel efficiency, over 600, well, close to, they tell me, 600 miles on a tank of gas. And dig this interior. As you may have heard, we call this a cabin of serenity or something like that, and you can see why. And this is a bit of a controversial color that I think people are going to love. I know my daughter will, that's no doubt, and probably a lot of people we know. This is this beautiful kind of dusty violet color. It plays so nicely with the lighter aspects here, even on the steering wheel, for goodness sakes. It's just a fantastic look. And that's what's beautiful about the Telluride. It is a vehicle that can go anywhere. It could be in a fancy country club parking lot. It could be parked in front of one of the greatest restaurants in town. So from the hybrid and the gasoline-powered engine versions, I now bring you over to what, well, let's be fair, this is the one that we all want in our driveways very, very soon. This is the Telluride X Pro. And I wanted to kind of finish up this little chat with you because this matte finish, which is gorgeous, looks like, you know, beautiful desert sand, really highlights some of the interesting elements of the overall design. And let's start with these interesting little kind of creases that come along. You can see it rides along, fades in a little bit here, and then comes back through, rolls around the side, and then clips in here again. Now I've been seeing people come up to this and kind of pushing on this, like, is there some sort of functionality? Well, yes and no. The idea from the designers is that it's like a high-end piece of luggage that you closed up and then you use a nice sturdy clip to pull it together. And what that does is it kind of gives I guess you could say, a tension to the overall design. Yeah, now I sound like a car designer, but it does. It just gives off of this kind of, you know, a feeling like something's going on beneath the surface. And speaking of beneath the surface, let's have a look inside here. Again, just the nicest materials possible, big sunroofs, room for the, you know, all your friends and family and their luggage. It's just the right way to do the Telluride. And as I've said a couple times, that's a hard mark. The current Telluride is so popular. How do you outdo a legend? Well, what you do is you do the X Pro version, which again, what you see from a design perspective, it's a little more rough and tumble looking. These hooks here on the front and on the back are functional. They're actually built right into the frame. That's not plastic, that's metal. This is not a poser mobile by any measure. But I think that if you're going to redo a classic, if you're going to redo something that everybody knows, loves, and aspires to, that's a hard thing to do. And I think our designers have just done a fantastic job of it, especially in this X Pro version. I mean, just look at that. You know you want that in your driveway. You know you do. I know I do.